Hey, if at any point I'll just like to point this out, if at any point you don't understand me, please let me know. I will say it again. I have no problem doing that. You okay with that?
I'm good.
Perfect. Okay, starting on page 3. Uh, role of a 6-minute listening healthcare specialist. The primary role of a 6-minute listening healthcare specialist is to provide medical treatment to wounded soldiers. Combat medics serve on the battlefield with other soldiers, providing biomedical treatment, including initial emergency treatment in a combat environment, evacuation and supervision of other soldiers who receive basic medical training. They also provide day-to-day medical care for soldiers in their special section. The combat medical section. The medics within our unit are organized into what is called the combat medical section. All medics are placed into a life platoon element. The command element of the CMS is placed in the company HQ. The chain of command and medic personnel are broken into company medical and platoon medical. So with company medical, there's one senior company medic, which is Staff Sergeant Lee, and two staff medics. They report directly to company senior medic. And then with platoon medical, there's one platoon medic per platoon, uh, reports to company senior medic, and squad medics, 4 per platoon, reports to platoon medic. You got any questions on that? Or you all good?
Nope, I'm good.
Alright. Training requirements. Medics are assigned to a squad after completion of combat medical school. As a member of your assigned squad, you are expected to attend every required event, which will help you earn the trust of the people in your squad. This means that you shall attend that squad training every week and the platoon training once per month to your assigned platoon. You will never be truly accepted to a squad as a net unless you exude the same dedication of every other soldier in that squad. Your duty in that squad is to provide medical support at the discretion of your squad leader while following the principles of the ability to keep your squad safe and healthy. All squad medics shall attend their squad training once per week and platoon training once per month. I'm sorry, I don't know English today. Squad medics should ensure that none of their squad is being CLS trained as soon as practical. Squad medics must be at least PFC to be CLS trained. Okay, moving on to combat loadouts. Uh, just to make sure, without going to the back, and just make sure you got everything in there. Never loadout, as I already know you have one, but just want to make sure. So, if you want, you can pull up the loadout, and we'll go through this real quick. The
Okay.
primary weapon, M4A1 service rifle, including the tip, or I think the scrubber one. The only difference in scrubber M4, M4A1, I think, has the carry handle, and the tip has the rapid iron sights. Weapon optics in one of your choice, excluding the machine gun optics and long range. The rail attachment is any available rail attachment you want. Muzzle attachment, that is, we no longer are allowed to pay a muzzle attachment, so describe that. We are not allowed a pistol, so no secondary weapon. The uniform is the combat OCP uniform, 101st rank specific, or you can pay, I believe it is the Army Combat Fatigues 101st AD. That is at the top of the list. So you can pay the Army Combat Uniform 101st AD or the Combat Uniform OCP event specific. Something. For the vest, we have the SPCS neck or the 506 squad neck event specific. Either one, it's not a different thing. Lobe is just a cosmetic difference. For the headgear, EACH, OCT helmet, or ESS Set the headset in for the rock. You can pay a 3 neck with a 5 neck assault pack. Again, no difference in load, just Chris neck, and any available eyewear. You all good with that?
Affirm.
Alright, starting with the minimum nationals we love out. For nationals, 10 with 13, 506, straight on spin nabs, 15 nabs, at least 2 times spaces. For grenades, we are not authorized to pay the M67 fabrication grenades. Uh, all troopers and 506 are authorized to pay a maximum of 10 handheld munitions. Certain smokes, 2 times green, uh, denotes friendly positions, 2 times purple, denotes inside locations, 5 to 6, yellow smokes, used for concealment, and then 1 times MA for a stun, you can trade that out for one of the yellow, which is why it says 5 to 6. So that's up to you. And moving on to Nightpool, I typically play this in my backpack so that the any nets come up with me can just hop in my backpack, or if the CLS wants to resupply off me, I can just grab that in my backpack. Uh, you are allowed 80 plus bandages. I usually like to go weight specific with this, weight dependent. So, if you want, you can put like 120 and then we'll come back to it. Uh,
Okay.
for Morphine, which will be cellular 45, always recommend table that for out. For Epi, we'll go 6 and 25. For blood, we'll use blood IV 506. Uh, and you pay 10 of those, as well as 2 blind decks. Okay, then on miscellaneous items, uh, 1 times earplugs, 4 times zip ties, 1 times ANPDS 14 night vision goggles, either one that will compass when Michael Gabby, one on alternative watch, radios, and PIC 122, that with definitely on nights, NAT tools, Fulton Index 991, encryption tool, M45 tool, green spray paint, and telescopic light. Both of those last two are optional, but I always recommend carry the green spray paint. But personally, I would not carry the telescopic light. But again, that's up to you. Okay, moving on to prohibited items. Uh, thermal optics, and that's 2A, thermal binoculars, laser designated explosive charges, explosive capsule, claymore mines, detonation crackers, M26 into 2 diffusal pit wipers, M67 segmentation grenades. So basically, anything that can help you see something better or kill something better, you cannot carry. Alright, living back to damages. If you are at a good weight, you can add some more damages to your loadout. It's all for you.
Cool.
Uh, now we are all good, so we'll go ahead and head back to the seat. Like I said, we can spam, but I really don't care. You can
Okay.
spam guys on me, I don't care. Hey, moving on to HD interactions. Default HD interaction keys are self-interact left control windows, interact with others, left windows, HD knuckling can be accessed by pushing H. If able, if looking at another player, you'll be able to interact with them. If not looking at another player, you'll interact with yourself. While working on a patient, it is best practice to tell them to lay flat on the ground and not move at all. It is not possible to treat a patient if they are moving. Fucking hell, I'm sorry about that. Okay, can you go ahead and read radio communications for me on page 6?
Radio communications. Communication at all levels between the members of the platoon is an essential part of being successful on the battlefield. As a general rule, all radio communication should be brief and concise. When speaking on the radio, You will first announce your calling station, followed by the word Mike to denote your title as a medic. For example, if you are the squad medic for Havoc 1-3, you would identify yourself on the radio as 1-3 Mike. As a squad medic, you will be required to monitor 2 radio frequencies at all times. Squad net. This net is used for squad leader, team leaders, and yourself to communicate. If teams are out of visual range and need medical care, the team lead will request assistance on your squad net. Medical net frequency 42. This net is used for you to communicate with the platoon medic and the other medics in the platoon. Medical net is used to pass back and forth information to your platoon medic and to coordinate logistics amongst only the medical staff of the platoon. This net is not to be used to pass tactical information.
That's always very important. Don't pass up those. Don't feel then 1-2-1 or whatever the fuck as tactical information. Don't pass it. Okay, move on to the that's been any official event when another medic will be present. After obtaining the loadout, you should set your radio and perform a radio check on medical net that the fellow medics know that you are present and ready for your operation. Now, Gonzalez, do you mind helping me with this?
Go ahead, Special.
Can you go ahead and get on 4-2 on your radio?
Copy.
Well, if you want to hop on 4-2 as well, so that you can listen to us. You're welcome. Alright, Gonzalez, I will be your platoon medic in this instance. So if you want, go ahead and call the radio check, and I will respond back.
Copy. One Mike, this a 1-3 Mike. Radio check on frequency 4-2 over.
1-3 is 1 Mike, okay. Loud clear on 4-2 over.
Copy. 1-3 Mike out.
That's one way to do the radio check. Obviously, it's a lot of different ways, so you can do whichever way you're comfortable with.
Gotcha.
Okay, so close this part. If your request has been answered to your satisfaction, then we shall inform the other party that you've been heard and will scribbly reply and indicate that you are done sending on the frequency by saying copy out. Radio communications additional. As we discussed earlier, your primary frequency for communicating the platoon net will be on NetNet frequency 42. The following situations should be reported to the platoon net on NetNet immediately. Squad leader incapacitated when the squad leader is incapacitated by injury or technical issue and cannot communicate with the platoon leadership. You should begin treatment and immediately inform your platoon net on NetNet and
Hey
team
guys,
leaders on
we
squad net.
have a
When
document
a
that's on
squad is
screen right
not
now
in
that
communication with platoon leadership,
we're
will
reading.
greatly hinder the entire platoon's combat effectiveness and must be reported with utmost chain of command as quickly as possible.
So all the
NAS
document that we had to read as some
MCI and NAS passing incident where MCI is
mics on our
in which another passes through a net ability
guard company.
to
So
treat more than 3
he's
usually
reading that document. I
and
got it on
return
the
him to
screen.
fight. We will cover MCI in great detail later in this class. Medical resupply needed when the replacement medical supplies reach below 25 to 30% of what you start initially with, you should contact your platoon net and request a resupply. It is your responsibility to be aware of the amount of supplies that you have available and will need to be your best judgment on when to ask for more supplies. Keep in mind that soldiers in your squad will come to you for their own medical resupply should they go out. Your platoon net can either resupply you some bread stock where they can call in resupply to the field to the platoon commander if needed. Alright, break, and petroleum traffic. Can you go ahead and read that for me?
Yeah, there will be times when you need to interrupt a conversation on the radio in order to report an emergency situation. Break. If someone else is talking on the radio and you have an emergency, you can talk over them by holding the transmit key and saying break. This will indicate to the person that was transmitting to stop the radio call because someone else has an emergency situation.
Yeah, all these radio
priority
communications.
Traffic, starting your radio call by saying priority traffic immediately indicates to everyone on that frequency that the following information is extremely important. An example of a radio call to your platoon medic to report your squad that your squad leader is
for everybody for
be one mic.
Squatting
this is 1-3
up.
Mic, priority traffic. My
Pretty
squad
much.
leader is down and I am treating them. We are at grid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Provide further description if needed, such as in a 2-story building or yellow smoke on my paws. Over. 1 mic copies. Advise if you need further assistance. Over. Copy out. As with all radio communications, try and keep your transmissions brief and to the point.
Just keep in mind when you're a medic,
Yep.
you do
Sounds good.
that
Moving on to ace supports.
to you
Axel,
do
do
that
you
to
have any
your
questions on what we've gone over so far?
platoon mic, and also
Nope,
you
it's all
have to
pretty
let the team
standard.
know that
Yep.
your actual is down.
Ace
So
supports. After
it's a lot of
significant
communication at
engagement,
that
you
point.
send that mail request that you put in on NetConnect with your ace staff support. This is done so the PNAP can be kept apprised of the squad's status. A color-coded system is used to report that these ones is 75%, yellow is 75%, orange is
So
25,
we use the
red is
same
25 and less, and obviously black is empty.
colors. We
Ace
green,
points in
yellow,
that
orange, red, and
system,
black.
different from
So,
those of
but just
entity.
for
When
medical,
the
we only
PNAP
apply for
requests an ace
medical.
point, the information that they requesting is status of the amount of medical supplies that you are currently paying, as well as the general medical status of your squad. If you're armed or lower on any
When you're a
essential
medic,
supplies such
it's
as
rare
purple
when
smoke
you
or medical supplies,
even get to
this is your
red and
opportunity to
ammo.
report this
I mean,
information to the PNAP.
some medics show
State the
more than
number of the named
others,
blood
but
bags that you're
it's
paying.
rare. At worst, you normally
You
get
should also
orange.
report if you are working on
At
castings.
worst.
I kind of cut that down, but yeah. So when we call the exploit, it's basically uh, if you're all green, we say you're all green on epimorphine damages, and we have 10 times blood dabs. You don't say green on blood dabs. You say that
Gotcha.
exactly not. Alright. When applying to a request for exploit, you should report that with third squad with fourth squad. This report should this report that should have done sequentially and each squad's report may not be acknowledged by the PNET unless there's a question about a particular squad status. If you're unable to respond to a question immediately, you will be in contact with field captains state as such. Advice to stand by. This will prevent any dead air on net.
That math.
The following is an example of transmission of the ace port check by having one light to having one squad light. All lights is one light since the ace port over.
One mic, this is 1-3 mic, all green and medical, times 10 blood bag over.
And that will continue all the way down, obviously, until the last mic, since the ace port. And then usually with that will say something to the effect of, one mic happens all, one mic out. So,
Yes,
yep,
for you.
pretty simple.
As when
Not
I
really
say
that
one
hard.
three or the one one,
Imagine you
it's because I normally
probably already know all
I'm
this stuff.
the mic
Yeah, it's normal stuff.
for squad.
Alright,
How about 1-3?
patient
So
anatomy, I'll
it's
kind of boost
come as
this,
it's a nature
it's
for me to
important
say
to be
1-3
familiar with the
mic.
patient's anatomy as well as what its actions can be avoided on a typically body part. The following list will provide applicable actions for each body part that is available in the AC Network system. For your head, you can damage one damage applies one damage. You can guide those patients to a leather alive in bed if the patient is in pain, how much blood they've lost. Uh, if you are pressing H to access the necronym or you are just accessing the necronym to your basic H interaction, you don't have to diagnose. You can see all but if they are unconscious, it will not show pain. To my knowledge, I don't know.
Gotcha.
I don't know if Gonzalez, you have anything to say on that aspect.
I'm sorry. Say again. If it down country, it will show no pain. You say I'm sorry.
Yeah, am I correct about
Affirm,
that? Okay,
yeah.
okay, gotcha. Hey, moving on to torso. One damage supplies one damage. You can diagnose things ahead. You can also use CPR, which is will in practical terms it will reset the death timer for the person that's been down. And we can also place a body dab. Note that when we place someone in a body dab, make sure all their mission critical equipment is off of them, because once you put them in a body dab, you will not be able to get any of their stuff out. Right? For your arms and legs, one day of supplies one day, you can also push blood and as well as inject epi and morphine. Interactions found on the patient's waist. You can load the patient into the vehicle. Note, this is the vehicle closest to the passenger, not you. You can open the neck within you. Uh, if enabled in ACE settings, you can grab while unconscious and pay while unconscious. Now, note that you can pay as well. Uh, if their legs are hit, they do not have to be unconscious. So let's say your buddy was dropping a field and we gotta pick him up. You can run over and pick him up and pay him to safety. So yeah. You have questions?
Nope.
Okay. Sit in place. At times it may not be possible to move passengers or cover due to a technical issue. If this occurs, they advise you to tune that and we squad leader that you'll be sit in place. This is a very specific phase which the teammates who will pass the areas to try to make it possible for you to see a passenger in that location. Pulse and the current mod pack FFN and CPI. Both your start takes height. Bear in mind that it's a lot faster to use FFN than next paid limited supply of iron therapies. This should be taken into account when treating patients, especially than a MCI. Popular cousin capsules or start. Can you go ahead and do that for me? Come on.
The start.
Ethan.
It is very important not to risk more lives while retrieving a casualty. Following steps should be employed to avoid additional injuries to yourself or other soldiers when attempting to retrieve an unconscious patient. Smoke, conceal the casualty. Utilize the smoke in a way to obscure the enemy's line of sight. Doing so may prevent them, you, and others taking further injuries. Threat, discover what has caused the casualty. Look for tracers. Listen for enemy soldiers or vehicles. Action, suppress or eliminate the hostile if possible. Do not attempt to retrieve the casualty if they are still exposed to fire. When it is safe to do so, recovery. When it is safe to do so, move to the casualty and bring them to hard cover. Do not work on a casualty in the open. Treatment. Once the casualty is in a safe location, medical aid can begin. Drag versus carry. If you have a long distance to cover, more than 10 meters, carry the casualty. If the injured soldier is close to hard cover, less than 10 meters, drag them. Carries take time to set up, but allow faster movement. You want me to keep going?
No, sorry, I have a problem.
Oh, you're good.
I'll go ahead and do this. Initially, medical aid, the following steps should take place when they will care the unconscious patient. One, ensure the area around the patient is safe as possible, not only open the firefight. Use principles start to ensure that you and they are safe. Two, perform diagnosis, count on hand torso, concerning the next steps. Three, bandage all wounds. Four, transfuse blood with diagnosis list is lost a lot of blood or more. Five, and there's the one epi morphine arms epi. Five, and there's the one epi arms epi to patient. Only if their status shows loss from blood. Oil pitch, no blood loss. Seven, repeat steps 1 through 6 until there are no more unconscious patients. 8, if the situation is calm, you now ask those around you if they require additional morphine for pain management. 9, if you have impairs and there's a body which seems to be moved next to any ammunition, medical weapon systems, and mission critical equipment is removed before placed in the body dab. It cannot be accessed after the passenger is placed in a body dab. Report pays to the note. No, it is possible and sometimes advisable to use morphine and ethyl to revive the patient before they are completely damaged in situations where you and the patient are in extreme danger, basically outlived in ion jet fire, or are in danger of being overrun by an enemy. You should revive the patient before they are completely damaged. Then the patient can move under their own power to safety, and where they can treat themselves, then you can provide ongoing treatment. These situations are rare, and reviving a patient before they are completely damaged should only be done in the most dire circumstances. This also this should also only be done once the patient is damaged to the point of being lightly injured and must not be done if still heavily injured. If there if there's more than one person working on a patient, Always call out where you've been, i.e., Dave's been left led on TDC John Doe. Uh, so that you are coordinating with the other person upon your game consciousness. The person should now be able to enjoy the fight. No third player morphine should be in initiative until all of the persons are fully conscious and or you're no longer taking fire. You must know any names of any soldier who's still in action. This information must be reported to the Synap set to the official document. The copy of dog tags of any soldier who's killed and transfer these to the Synap if possible. You will also be able to check the tabs later to ace interaction if you're unable to note the names of players at the time. Now, when a patient is placed in a body bag, you can interact with their head, I believe, to get rid of dog tags.
Okay.
Again, Gonzalez, if I'm wrong, correct me.
I could test it on that one behind us.
Yeah, I mean, if you want. Am I wrong, Gonzalez, or am I right?
Say it
I
again
think
one
so.
more time.
You can interact with their head to get rid of dog tags, right? Yep. Interact with their neck, actually. You can get rid of dog tags.
For the dog tag, yeah, it's interact, yeah, self, and we give you some type of option there.
I'm gonna put them in a body bag real quick.
You can
But
actually
you
take
can,
them right here. You can take them without putting them in like a.
Oh no, you were saying you weren't sure if once they're in a body bag if you could still take them or not.
no.
I'm pretty sure you can, but
After you put in the body bag, it's over. You cannot take nothing from him. Anything, dog tag or anything farther, I know.
Okay.
So,
I think we can still take their dog tags. I mean, uh, yeah. That's it for that. So we can go ahead and hit that. The Tackle combat passing team sickle C. If you want to go ahead and leave that for me up to phase one.
Okay. In Armor, the primary role of a medic is to render care for a casualty in a combat environment. This is known as tactical combat casualty care. Besides addressing a casualty's medical condition, responding medical personnel must also address tactical problems faced while providing care in combat. A medical intervention at the wrong time may lead to further casualties. Put another way, good medicine may be a bad tactical decision, which can get the rescuer and the casualty killed. Phases of TCCC. In thinking about the management of combat casualties, it is helpful to divide care into three distinct phases, each with its own characteristics and limitations. Care under fire. Care rendered at the scene while both the medic and the casualties are still under effective hostile fire. The risk of additional injuries from hostile fire at any moment is extremely high for both the casualties and the medic. Tactical combat care. Care rendered once the medic and casualties are no longer under effective hostile fire. This also applies to situations in which an injury has occurred on a mission, but there has been no hostile fire.
Okay. Phase 1, Tail Fire. Then phase the net and captain is still under hostile fire. The first step in taking captain is to control the tackle situation. Non-medical players should be attempting while captain is exposed in the fire. These tips will start the new captain to a safe position. If there is still a high probability that you may be injured and attempting to kill the captain and stop others around you to do so. If you're injured and really unconscious, it will negatively impact your squad's combat effectiveness. Captains who are able to move into cover are the only should be told to do so. Avoid exposing other player members to unnecessary hazards. This live rescues is not advised. Remember, the destination on battlefield is high skill. Captains who have sustained injuries but are not life-threatening and have the ability to help should continue to assist in suppressing the hostile fire, and they also be critical to you to help suppress hostile fire before attempting to then repair. Phase 2 Tackle Combat Pair demonstrates the net and captain are no longer under hostile fire. This also applies in situations which an injury has occurred on mission, but hostile fire has not been encountered. Net prepared stays instead towards a more in-depth evaluation and treatment of the captain, focusing on those conditions not addressed by repair on the fire phase of treatment, while captain and the rescue are now in a somewhat less hazardous situation. Evaluation and treatment still dictated by practical situation. Note that I realize you would do things like airway assessments, checking breathing, or pill evaluations, and much more. This can only be simulated to a certain extent on the. You got anything there? Good. You already went through CLS, so you should already know this. So,
Yeah.
okay, good. I'm making sure. Uh, Pathogen collection point or GCCP. The rapid and effective treatment of pathogens is crucial in maintaining a high degree of mobility and balance of action. This is accomplished through the administration of the first aid, self-aid slash by aid, enhanced first aid, CLS, and emergency medical treatment by a combat med. Utilizing vehicles, remind me that for me.
Vehicles like MRAPs, helicopters, etc., may be used to evacuate injured soldiers out of the battle. Patients can be loaded into a vehicle, and medical aid can be provided inside. Once the vehicle is in a safe location, or CCP, the patients may continue to be treated inside the vehicle or unloaded and treated behind solid cover. If there are numerous patients with multiple injuries, a CCP can be established in a safe area behind hard cover or in a defilade from enemy fire. At the CCP, you will conduct triage on all casualties and take steps to stabilize their conditions. The tactical situation will determine how quickly you are able to treat wounded soldiers. Squad leaders will direct their soldiers to bring the wounded to you so that they can be treated in a relatively safe area. You can ask your squad leader or platoon medic to mark this on Blue 4.
Okay, as we already know, it's a pretty important thing. Utilizing vehicles is one thing that I do quite often, and it's always a great way to move casually out of a firefight and a quick there. So always keep that in mind. NASPAS incidents, a NASPAS incident or NCI or NASPAS is any event in which a number of persons exceed a net's ability to rapidly treat and return to fight. If you are the only net in the area and there are 4 or more soldiers that are unconscious due to injury, you should report a NCI to the PNET via NetNet immediately. When an MCI is retired, topic triage is vital. Triage is a fixed way of naming to sort passengers are sorted into groups based on their immediate network needs. This is stabilized approach to triage helps nets to correctly segregate and treat wounds in the shortest time possible. The realities of combat dictate that the battlefield triage must take place in an environment limited with resources for treatment and transport. Triaging capsules establishes order of treatment and movement. Principles of tactical triage accomplish the greatest good for the greatest number of persons and for the most efficient use of available resources. The 10 personnel on duty as soon as possible. However, repair and mass housing incident. Now we are looking at changing this, so I'll go ahead and give you what we are looking at changing. So right here we have 4 levels. We are changing it to 3 levels. Well, we're in the process of changing it to 3 levels. Starting with number 1 is medical personnel, so that they can help treat women. That will be NETs and CLS. Leadership will be NETs, so that'll be a squad leader, so that they can communicate and coordinate in response, as well as critical weapons such as a Mars, Javelin, uh, basically whatever weapon you need for that certain situation. So if there's a tank, you're gonna be up a Javelin gunner, or a Mars gunner, or if there's a lot of infantry, obviously you have the 249 or the 240. And then 3 is everyone else. So it's pretty simple. Uh, Announce the mass passing incident and location of the medical net immediately. Examples such as 1 might plan a NCI CCT set at the location 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 4 personnel down on the need of immediate assistance. Uh, and then we can add additional information as under fire or marked by puzzle smoke or inside building X or whatever. Set the CCT. Most often this will be simply where the largest number of passengers were injured and they were unconscious. If passengers are out in the open, they should be moved to cover as soon as possible. You should request any able-bodied soldier The stand straight perimeter provide concealment with smoke and suppress any oncoming fire, incoming fire. If a visual signal will help you to be located quickly, and we feel the situation requires significant assistance, so one peg will smoke near your location. Make sure it is far enough away so the smoke will not interfere with the treatment of passengers or locating reposition. Note that purple smoke will cause a large number of people to come to your aid. If you are still under hostile fire, it could cause additional passings. Alright, can you go ahead and read the rest of that for me?
Yep. What will happen when you declare a mass casualty incident? Upon receiving the radio report, Platoon HQ will take stock of the current battle space, and Platoon Medic may request that additional medics respond to the scene of the mass casualty incident. Platoon Command will also communicate with the other squads and Task Force Command for possible infantry and support assistance. Fire teams may be redirected to help provide security or suppress the enemy. Supporting assets like aircraft or vehicles may be redirected to suppress the enemy and provide cover. Note, your squad leader will liaise with Platoon HQ and decide if you can both leave your squad to respond to any mass casualty incident. There may be times where it is more important to stay with your squad, and your squad leader will make that decision. If you are requesting a soldier's help with providing security to a mass cas, keep them at least 10 meters away in good cover so you give good room for everyone to work. And if additional casualties are coming in to be treated, remind people around you to give the medical team space.
Okay, you got any questions about any of this?
Nope.
Okay, well, technically you have done with combat medical school, so congratulations. Welcome to the club. It's a lot better than I see, I must tell you. And that's when Gonzalez can back me up.
Alright.
I do not know if I can technically give you medical tabs yet. So I don't really know. I'll have to ask
Hang on,
someone.
I will be right back.
Okay. Yeah. So Gonzalez, how are you?
I'm good. Are you no, you're in
I was
third
in
platoon,
Task
right?
Force Charlie. Yeah.
Are you in Task Force Alpha? No, because
Task
I'm
Force Charlie.
Oh,
Task
Charlie.
Force
So you
Charlie.
did
Yeah.
yesterday?
Yeah.
I
Well,
saw I saw the grenade went off yesterday.
there's a lot more that happened.
I know, I heard it too. Yeah. But
Uh,
I heard the grenade. I mean, I don't remember. I think was watching stream from Sergeant Kruger, and their XO was doing the uh, brief, and oh shit, that's what the guy said, and boom. Yeah,
yeah.
that was
I don't
interesting.
know who did that, but
Yeah,
I imagine they got in some trouble.
I know. Yeah, I heard somebody else jump in and when they're supposed to, like intruders or something.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry about that. I thought I smelled something burning.
It's all good, man. Don't worry. Uh, I will get. I see the problem I have right now is you're still technically in the reserves, and we're still technically a 11 Bravo, to my knowledge. So I don't know if I can give you net tabs yet.
Okay.
But if I can, I'll shoot definitely a message, and I'll find out. Actually, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Um,
User left your channel.
are you looking to transfer to one of the squad medic?
Yeah, I've already been talking with Sergeant Nibs and Sergeant Gates about going to 2-1.
To one. Cool.
Yeah, it's really the only one left that fits my time.
Good time. Yeah. I started in 2-2 with Sergeant Niv, and then transferred to 1-3 because the schedule worked better.
Ah,
Yeah, man. One thing that I always tell everybody, especially CLS when we do the training, is the first thing when you show, especially now that we're in operation, we deploy. You only, you coming in with the life that you got. If you KIA, you can respawn one more time, but that's it. If you KIA it again, that's it. Every time you show up to somebody's down, they hard. If it needs CPR or some, that's the
Yeah.
number one because uh, Sergeant J, who's my platoon sergeant, we did like a little training the other day with, I think it was with Dolly, and we actually put a timer, like messed up somebody from head to toe, like red, their whole
User
body.
joined your channel. User joined your channel.
Okay,
Hey, Special Zudel.
How's it going, sir?
so
Doing
Sergeant,
all right. Hey, so you're coming out of reserve, correct?
A firm. I've already been talking with Sergeant Gates and Sergeant Nibs. I was talking to Top about trying to get it waived because I'm active duty and I only have certain slots I can fill.
Right.
But yeah, until the 27th, I'm still in reserves.
This month, I'm guessing.
Correct.
Okay. Are you talking IRL reserve, or are you talking for the game, for the 506? Just making sure I'm.
For 506.
Okay, so let me reach out to Sergeant Rainey.
Okay.
And we're gonna reach out to him and try to get a little more guidance. Like, hey, can we bring him in early? Can we do this, that, or the other? We'll let him know that you have finished CMS and
Alright,
are looking
guys,
to pick
thank
up
you very
one of the
much for
medical
watching.
slots that are open.
very much.
And
the rest
go
is just
from there.
talking here with the
Yeah,
medical
copy. If he
stuff.
needs any info from me, like I said,
maybe
that's
back tonight.
2-1's really the only
Fill it
times
out for
that I
Task Force
see
Bravo,
that has
so
left that I can fill for
see
my
you guys
commitments
around.
right
Thank
now.
you for watching.
What?